Okay, let's go live. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 19th of October. So let's start off looking at the potential news that might impact us today. Well, we've already just seen the UK inflation data out there at 10.1 versus 10% expected. UK RPI, etc. All these inflation, the producers price index PPI there 15.9, so there's a good chance that will get passed on. It also suggests that some companies may be look at the input price is still very high, obviously energy affecting this significantly, these prices, but they may get passed on in the future. Looking for the rest of today, news-wise, we've got the Canadian inflation out later at 1:30. That certainly could affect the inflation, the Canadian pairs. And we've got Bullard speaking at 11:30 p.m. Let's just check on here. It's got okay, so we've got some housing content. U.S. housing starts actually coming out there. Now that could give a little bit of volatility to the markets there, and it's starting to see a little bit more focus on the retail market and individuals and what they're doing. That could well create some volatility. Expected to come in less. Aside of that, then we do have some speakers, Bank of England speakers at 2 o'clock, and running through to 4 o'clock. So there's a whole bundle of speakers there. Crude oil inventories later on today as well for those that are trading crude. So by this time I will have some data here. Yep, got it. Right, let's go and look at the markets themselves. So looking at the euro dollar first, euro off a little bit this morning. Yesterday it managed to push up and hold up a little bit. Volatility dying off a bit yesterday, bit of a quietish day. We sort of get into these sort of choppy modes where you're seeing a bit of action. Came in a bit later. Was that yesterday? It was last week. Hang on a minute. Where are we? 8 o'clock yesterday. Yeah, choppy. It wasn't that much at all. Beg pardon. I was looking across to last week. Here we go. Quite ugly, to put it politely. I'm seeing this on a number of charts this morning. Sort of expanding wedges, going the opposite way, and this is still within that range. Quite difficult to work out which way they are going to go. They're very unpredictable. So an unpredictable market. Maybe it's going to take out these prior lows. It's already through its daily pivot S1. It's heading for at the moment. That ticks off all the boxes. Seeing all these red bars, be wary for a bit of a bounce maybe off here, for a bit of a green bar to come through. I know it sounds crazy, you're seeing all these red bars, but the market moves in a direction for a period and then it will have a rest of some sorts. Now it may be a doji, maybe a green bar, we'll see, but just be wary. Don't want you just jumping in. Okay, the pound. So pound wise then this morning, well, there's the inflation figures not really helping the markets, or the pound this morning, and the pound is selling also. Again, horrible intraday even market movements a lot of the time. It did come off in the end yesterday for a while, but bounced and then chops, and it's again quite a difficult one. A break of this 50 might, and the way things are running, we've got a lower high already confirmed yesterday. Another that sort of may well give us, so say 50 to 100 moving average even, might give us more downside to show that way. We've still got that untouched gap and weekly pivot sitting below, and I'm sort of looking at those, may well have potential. Dollar yen, well, the yen keeps going. I asked on Monday about will we hit 150. Well, we're certainly going that way at the moment. We're only 60 pips short, so it's certainly looking like that way. Don't want to get in the way of this in a sense, although you sort of might expect intervention at some point. It's well into its highs. I haven't seen anything. Oh, hang on a minute. I've just seen something as I've said that. Japan's Prime Minister, we cannot tolerate sudden excessive forex moves. There we go. Maybe that's an underlying signal to say we won't be intervening. I don't know. Last time I think he spoke, we saw it move. Morning, Ritu. Okay, so double topping at where it's sitting at the moment, but I wouldn't be looking to, well, it's probably a bit of divergence, wouldn't be looking to trade against this market from up here. If we suddenly saw some strength coming into the market, might be a bit of a different case, but it's pushing up. Yep, it had its spiky movement down there yesterday, but still managed to recover all that and continue. So Aussie dollar now, did expect a bit more downside on this yesterday, although it did hold up quite well. Morning in a bit of a mess as it sits here. Again, consolidation, and when you look at it, it's got the expanding wedge kicking through here, and it's within that wedge. It makes it much more difficult, bouncing into its 50 at this stage. Maybe we'll get a breakdown of that down towards its S1. It could still be in that expanding wedge at that rate as well. Got to be treading a bit carefully. Even leaving it later, it didn't quite go the way I expected yesterday. Carried on through and then rolled over. But as I say, it's less obvious where it's going. The trend is certainly pretty much a downside across these markets, but it doesn't always mean it's going to be an easy route. Canadian dollar. Again here, getting messy on the dailies, getting a lot of overlap. I mean, you saw it last week. It just sort of large periods, and we had some news out, and then more news out later, and then it's a mess. Basically, very difficult to really get a decent read on these. I can see the higher low in from that was confirmed yesterday. That's there. So at the moment, it's effectively in an upward trend, but then if you draw the trend line where you should do here across this higher, a confirmed higher low, the price is actually below it. So it may be that we're just waiting for this little, well, it's something a bit more than the flag now, whether we're waiting for a breakdown of this price action here to the downside. But again, the way whoops, going too far down the markets here, the way it's sort of shaping up, it is still technically in a near to short term upward trend, but having broken the key trend line. Anyway, right, moving up the time frames, that's the Canadian dollar. Right, let's go backwards, and right, looking at gold. Morning, Michael. Gold, well, seems like a broken record mostly. It's generally very weak. It has been consolidating and chopping. We're in that phase of the markets. A market will go through its sort of impulse waves, where it's much more solid, simple trend, and then you get this consolidation waves, and we're certainly sitting in one at the moment. And making it a bit more difficult often to see. However, gold has come off pretty quickly and easily on the 60-minute this morning through the Asian session. There, it's come off near enough double bottoming here. There'll be traders looking for the divergence to trade it the other way, even though it is in a downward trend. But let them lose money on their own, eh? But opportunities, really, any rallies really could give reason to sell. You've got to be a bit careful with it coming so close, because we will get if it starts bouncing, it might bounce a bit. We just got to wait for a decent retrace and the signal that it is actually moving across. Oil, it's all about patience, as I mentioned recently. Lack of patience is one of the biggest killers of people's accounts. So oil, again yesterday, carried on rolling to the downside. Just got to look at the technicals. You've got to almost put the fundamentals aside here at the moment. It's yeah, yesterday pretty consolidated all morning, sold off in the afternoon there. Has got its lower highs. Technicals at the moment are really pointed into the downside. Having said that, if we get a break above 84.20, now I'm using the Western Texas on that, so be careful. Just look at the same sort of location on your different brokers have different price levels, and you've got to be a bit careful here. But that 84.20 area on my chart, which is the high of the early morning there, break of that might signify further upside, but at the moment really it's just drifting to the downside. Oil's a funny old one, that. A lot of brokers, it's like the indices themselves, they have different price levels for them. Right, moving across then and looking at the crypto market. Sorry, I'm just been doing some studies elsewhere on these markets and looking at the 4-hour chart. Let's get to daily, and it's still really pretty much chopping. I was saying about downside, the markets don't seem to be doing anything here positively. If you're looking for the buy side, and a lot of traders are looking for the buy side, mainly because they're in it and they want to sell it. They bought in the much higher prices and they want to get out. This is just at the moment looking like, if anything, like it could have some more downside. Okay, the faster moves down seem supported and they're buying, but overall, to me, it looks like a very weak market. Let's have a look at Ethereum today as well. There we go. Same old thing. You've got this consolidation around the low of the markets, and to me, it just looks like it's still very much to the downside. And if you're looking at, if you're trading intraday or end of day, and you're looking, well, there's certainly potential for further downside movement there at the moment. Right, that's them out of the way, and then let's go and have a look at the indices. And well, bit of a downward prod. Keep on talking about this. These markets remain for me bearish. Yes, we may get some upward nicks across in the Asian sector, but well, this one hasn't. It's a firm downward market, this at the moment, in a downward trend. It is just a case of looking for the opportunities. The Nikkei, it's positive at the moment. This, to me, it's just coming up short of breaking and giving a higher low. If it starts selling off tomorrow, I'd be sitting on the cart on the downside. Nifty 50 outperforming at the moment. We've seen this. It's never really sold quite as hard as the other markets. It's seeing more positivity still sitting there overall. It has put its higher lows in. Really can't get too bearish on this one until it breaks this trend line here. I've popped on there at the moment, although we might get some signals at the moment. It's the more bullish market out there of the ones I'm following here. Elsewhere then, in the US, S&Ps still, as I say, it's a weak picture. It's down at the moment. This could all change before the market's open. It could get a reversal, but to me, it looks very much, even with the Dow Jones giving us that higher confirmed higher low fractional, it still looks a very weak market. If you measure the waves here, it's already done an over 1-to-1, so it may have been just a you get the impulse waves, and they're just a retracement wave we get within these bigger waves, and I'm just sort of waiting for it to start coming off again at the moment. Nasdaq, it never got beyond the prior highs there, just showing weakness. Today again, and the overall trend still remains firmly down. Nearer home, let's just look at the DAX today, because most people are trading that. The CAC is very similar in pattern. The higher low did come through there, and again, it's just a retracement, potentially a retracement move in the bigger moves of things here, and it's a bit of a patience game. just sitting here waiting to see what actually happens. Okay, and finally 8 o'clock we can look at the FTSE. The FTSE's opened up this morning. There we go. It's going against everything else at this stage and pushing up there, regardless of the high inflation data, but we'll see how long that lasts for. Could be the leader of the pack, and I could be completely wrong, but this has still got the lower highs in here, still looking softer than, for example, the DAX, where it's broken through and taken out the prior highs. Okay, that's pretty much it for me today. I'd be watching this for a bit of a rollover at some point. Bit of excitement, maybe earnings coming out, whatever it may be, that's driving this today, but I'm still a bear. Right, on that note, I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you in the morrow. Take care. Morning, Andy. Sorry, just caught you there at the end. Have a good day.